And now for our feature presentation.
Transformers has a lot more bizarre movies than they have good movies. The original Transformers was cheesy, but man is it solid. The second one was kinda racist. I might have skipped Dark of the Moon, but I know a classmate in 8th grade cried over Ironhide's death. Age of Extinction had dinosaurs, but the best thing about that movie was the Beats pill. Thanks, Razzle, for making this a meme. Great channel.
What, is she giving the red pill or the Beats pill? What are you offering?
And the fifth one has a Harriet Tubman in the Underground Railroad with a Transformer. That totally makes sense. Then we got Bumblebee, a lighthearted fun time that's different than the other Transformers movies. It's cliche in areas, but it was fun. It was a prequel to the live action movie series, and this movie takes place after it. Except no other characters in that one appear in this one, so it's like a sequel to Bumblebee, but a very, very light one. Anyways, Bumblebee started the path to good live action Transformers movies that the original set for. So how does Rise of the Beast follow? It was just okay. In this movie during the 90s, a new faction of Transformers, the Maximals, joined the Autobots as allies in a battle for Earth. Honestly, when it comes to Transformers movies, the biggest hit or miss in the franchise is the human element. In this one we get Noah, who needs to get a job to support his family and little brother, and he gets whisked away into a war with the Autobots and Terracons. Then there's Elena, who discovers an artifact that can lead a pathway to the Autobots' home world, except both of the human characters have to team up with the robots to find the other part of the key, so they can send the Autobots home. The best part of the human aspect here is the decision to break the piece of the key so there's a 100% chance that Earth won't be destroyed, but also it means the Autobots can't leave. When it comes to Transformers movies, I'm definitely not looking for anything deep. We're all looking for a fun time with these gigantic robots blasting and kicking ass. Oh, wait, did I just say blasting ass? We're all looking for a fun time with these gigantic robots kicking ass. But this element is only touched on briefly through the middle act and the issue of the main character deciding if he should destroy the artifact to help the human race, but it will cause the Autobots to never go home. And I feel like this could have made the story feel more than just another MacGuffin quest. It sucks that this issue resolves itself so quickly, because then it makes the story kinda weak. Because I felt like then we could have had a great Transformers action movie with some intriguing human stuff, because at the end of the day, I really didn't care for the humans. The acting is fine and serviceable, but I guess I wanted to be equally attached to the human aspect like I was with Bumblebee. But again, we're here to see Transformers and we get this here. Peter Cullen is 81 years old and his voice as Optimus is still captivating to hear in a theater. Optimus probably has one of the most iconic voices of all time, and everything he says sounds so badass.
You've never faced anything like this. Let them come.
For the action movies, it's clean and you can clearly see what's happening, because some scenes in the past movies, you could not tell who was fighting who. It's not an action movie that's up there with John Wick 4, but it gets made up for by all the times the Transformers actually transform. The sound of them changing is still so badass and awesome. It's always a treat seeing them turning from robot to a truck, then run over a few baddies only to transform right back to a gigantic robot, blasting away the bad guys. The Maximals are a great new addition to this live action series. The designs really translate well to the big screen, and there are some CGI moments where it could have been polished, but still, whenever they were moving in action through the jungle or whatnot, I could overlook it because it was fun. I saw this in a really crowded theater, and while I don't love Transformers, I'm happy that everyone was clapping and having a good time and laughing. Sadly, this felt like an enjoyable movie with a story element that was weak, but the Transformers aspect is some of the best, and it was never boring. I just want to go over a few rules about movie theater etiquette. Whenever something bad happens in a movie, you don't have to loudly say, "Oh shit, this ain't good." Like, I know it's not good. We're all watching the Terracons crash land near the good guys, we know. You don't have to say out loud, "That's fucked," when something sad happens. You also don't have to say, "That's so cool." Like, we all know it's cool. And of course, out of all the seats in the auditorium, I happened to pick the seat that was 2 seats away from the guy that was saying all this. It was the absolute worst. This guy's almost as bad as Universal. Okay, that's an over-exaggeration.